Hey everyone, welcome to the April edition, Pinky Autonomy Worldwide, brought to you of course by Club 602 and Puro Cigar Bar downtown Chandler. Proud to announce the first month on the roof. Aire by Puro, it's going down. Let's come sit up under the stars, drink some wine, enjoy the conversation, enjoy the company. Really excited to get that going. Really excited. Big shout out Ian, putting in all the hard work, as well as everybody else over at Puro. Always very grateful to them for hosting us in all of our shenanigans. 3 great wines as usual. Starting off in Spain, working our way to Portugal, and then finishing it off in the southern hemisphere, the lovely trip to Australia. Had to do a little celebratory start because, of course, anytime you think celebration, you think bubbles. And so, lovely expression of Cava coming from Naveran, just outside of Barcelona, is where they grow and produce all of the Cava, which is Spain's wonderful answer to champagne. Really excited for this lovely expression. Working our way to Portugal, Casa do Valle. This is actually a very atypical and wonderful expression of Vinho Verde. Very excited to try. And then heading down to the Down Under for the Darrenberg Footbolt Shiraz, named after basically the most prized horse in the Osborne collection before old man Osborne decided to sell the horses and start the winery. So of course, got the bubbles, so we have to have a coupe. So this beautiful 2023 vintage Cava. What makes Cava unique in the sparkling wine world is that it's made in the same method that they make champagne, but because the yields are a lot higher and aging requirements aren't quite as stringent as champagne in France, these are actually really affordable and high quality expressions of sparkling wine. So 50% Xarello grape, 30% Macabeo, and 20% Parellada. Typical grapes that you'll find in Cava. A little bit of clay and limestone soil is really what makes this special and what makes it really similar to champagne, and again, in a much more reasonable price. I'd say the main difference between the two is you get much colder region in Champagne, whereas you get a nice little Mediterranean climate happening here. Although this particular producer, Naveran, they have a little bit of elevation, and so helps to keep the grapes cool at night. Taking a look at the color, a little pale straw, kind of a hint of a gold going on there. As opposed to champagne, definitely more citrus on the nose, a little bit of lemon, maybe some melon as well. You can kind of smell the minerality, but overall just really bright and crisp it smells like. Taste and time. The Meyer lemon really pops through. Definitely vibrant with the acidity. Minerality in the form of limestone is very present. Kind of definitely a little brioche going on because, in the same manner as champagne, it is aged on lees. And so Those little dead yeast cells really contribute to the final flavor. A little bit of an apple going on. Almost kind of like some underripe stone fruit in almost the form of like a peach. As it pertains to the food pairings, man, everything that champagne would pair well with, this would as well. So, cheese-wise, if you want to stay local, get some manchego going. Big brie or like burrata, the creaminess would be wonderful with this vibrant acidity, and of course the bubbles help to cut through. Little aged parmesan, just the saltiness. Oysters, ceviche, cod picada, a little bit of that caper goodness and citrus. Going with this would be wonderful. Fried calamari, really anything fried with bubbles is always a good choice. Really charcuterie too, from the olives to the cured meats. The salinity and big savory notes would definitely pair very well with this. For the taco pairing, gotta go with spicy cabeza. Got that super rich, cheek, tongue, lip meat of the beef with a little bit of spice. Would absolutely go just phenomenally with this. So thank you, Spain. On to your neighbors, the Portuguese. So again, Casa do Valle. This Vinho Verde is actually very atypical than what most of them you'll find. A lot of times you'll find just super light and crisp and lightly effervescent expressions. But this one is actually a little more intentional in the fact that, they kind of handpick the fruit out. Organic farming methods used throughout here. Yeah, definitely a little more thought and also a little higher in alcohol. Most of the lighter effervescent Vinho Verdes you'll find come in like the 9 to maybe 11% range. This one's sitting at 13.5. So, yeah, a little bit of lees aging also kind of helps to add to the complexity here. But overall, lovely expression. Taking a look. Yeah, I mean, I'd say pretty strong straw. The nose, very complex. Everything from passion fruit, citrus kind of realm, a little bit of green apple, to some white kind of floral notes, and then kind of stony minerality in there too. It definitely smells like it grows in some, limestone soils, and that tracks. Onto the taste. This is one of those that really surprised me because from expectation to taste, just a huge gulf there. So the floral notes definitely come through because of the lees. I mean, there's absolute like apple custard kind of an element going on. The acidity keeps on growing throughout, and even through the finish, it does, which definitely indicates a lot of Alvarinho, um, which is Portuguese answer to Spain's Albarino. The minerality comes through in kind of a wet stone quality. The passion fruit's definitely there, so is the citrus, but overall, like sneaky complex. And of course, especially getting ready for summertime, super food friendly. Cheese wise, I would say like some Chev would be great with this. And then from there, I mean, take your pick of anything seafood realm. I said like some citrus grilled shrimp would be wonderful with this. Urban lemon chicken, oysters with mignonette, a little hamachi crudo, be wonderful. This would go great with Thai food, Vietnamese food, especially a banh mi. I think that would be an ideal summer pairing here. Then taco pairing, grilled fish tacos with some verde salsa. The little tomatillo essence, I think, would just absolutely make this wine pop. So down to Portugal, on our way down to the McLaren Vale, South Australia. The Darrenberg Footbolt Shiraz, vintage 2021, and again coming from the McLaren Vale, essentially just south of Adelaide, right outside the city. This is a family-owned, operated, fourth generation winery that really employs some old school methods that are a lot of fun. One of the few wineries that still employs the foot treading method, which I'm sure you've seen in Pretty Woman, the movie, when Lucy's walking around foot stomping the grapes. These guys still do that, which is really cool. They also do basket pressing, which is a more subtle method of pressing the grapes. And so there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of old school methods employed by these guys that really lend to a beautiful expression of Shiraz. Whereas a lot of Shiraz, especially South Australian, kind of tend to be really jammy, rich, just crazy fruit forward. This one's actually incredibly balanced. So really excited and really, really love this region. So taking a look color wise, leaning into purple. What's really cool, it has kind of a ruby ring around the outside. So you almost get the dual color effect going on here. Onto the nose. Lots of fruit, lots of spice, and alcohol. So that was one thing I noticed right off the bat. The alcohol really hits you. A little blackberry, little boysenberry, definitely some ripe cherry, like mocha notes, like definitely a little chocolatey. Some black pepper. You can definitely smell the spice in it. So definitely a lot going on. Ugh. What's he taste though? Although there's definitely a fruit component and the alcohol is present as well. Actually surprising. There's a little bit of cherry, blackberry, kind of right away. The tannins, although velvety, are definitely present, and really help to balance this wine. Some black plum going on, baking spice. Definitely the mocha comes through as well. A little bit of that pepper. There's kind of a savory, almost meaty, kind of a note going on, which again just adds to the complexity and really helps with the balance of this wine. The acidity is there too, which is really nice because although not quite right next to the ocean, this one definitely gets some coastal breezes, which really kind of helps to cool off everything, especially nighttime. So although they fully ripen and mature these grapes, they do maintain their acidity, which really lends to the structure of this wine in a big way. Man, food pairing. Whew. It's a great summer wine. Big brie, a little gorgonzola, a little burrata. Anything in the creamy, funky realm. I mean, you're not missing. Literally anything barbecued would just slay with this wine. And think a little like, gets you some fatty brisket from a certain barbecue joint that might be really close to Puro. And rack of lamb with some herbs going on. Pepper crusted steak would be nice with this too, just to really accent that black pepper. And this is a big wine that can really stand up to a lot of flavor. Oh man, braised beef with like mushrooms. There's just no wrong answers here. Tacos, I think it's gotta be birria. Get that richness, that, little cheesy crust and hint of spice, but you get that broth that you can sip with it. Gonna be a happy camper, that's for damn sure. All right, well, as usual, shout out Ian. Thanks for getting us some great wines this month. Again, really excited to be up on the rooftop. Had to pop the bubbles in honor. So look forward to seeing everybody at the live tasting. And if not, definitely make sure to take your picks this month, because got some really good stuff. All right, guys. Looking forward to seeing everybody, and can't wait till next month. Cheers.